So I want to move into what I'm considering my quote unquote big idea of the day. And the reason for this, I'm going to talk about something that's referred to as zero inbox, which is basically tame your email. And you're saying, well, why, Larry, should I tame my email? Why is this zero inbox thing important? I think that's where we always want to start is why things are important. And I'm going to go through a whole list of things real quick before I get into the actual tips that I think will help you. One, it's going to reduce stress and cognitive overload. There's a study at UC Irvine and also the US Army found that limiting the number of times participants check email significantly reduces stress and increases focus. So if you can keep your inbox at zero or close to zero, you're going to minimize the constant distraction and mental burden of an overflowing inbox, and therefore you might reduce the stress levels. And I think that's really important because the world is very, very stressful and we do have a lot of things going on. So if you can find some solace in doing that. The second thing is you're going to improve productivity. And the question sometimes people ask me is, what do you mean by productivity? And I want to define it this way because I always talk about this in my class. It's the value you can deliver over time. That's really what it's about for you, for your product, for your company, is what is the value you can deliver over time or you can create over time. And what has been found is, according to McKinsey, this is a study that McKinsey did, the average professional spends 28% of their workday reading and answering email. So if you can effectively manage and reduce your inbox, you can reclaim a good portion of your day that you can focus on other things. Next, you're going to get better organization and prioritization. Sometimes I don't use the word priority. Sometimes I use sequencing. Y'all probably heard me say that before. It's kind of the same thing. This approach encourages you to review and use your emails to set up meetings, prioritize tasks, and deal with things that are critical immediately, and then those things that are not, scheduling time or eliminating them completely. There's a decreased risk of missing important information. If you have a bunch of emails and it's going to be hard to find something that's important sometimes. If you use some of these techniques, it's going to help you not miss something because your inbox is going to be very small and you're going to be able to see everything. My goal is always that it fits on kind of one screen or less on my phone, not even on my desktop, but on my phone, that I can see all my messages on the inbox in one screen. And the last one is an enhanced mental clarity and decision making. Did I miss one? Oh, anyway, when you clear your inbox, it just gives you the ability to have better decisions and mental clarity. These are some reasons, but let me get to the things that I wanted to talk about before I run out of time. One of the best ways you can do is skip the inbox completely. If it doesn't come to your inbox, you don't have to deal with it. And there's a couple ways that we can do this. These are very important things to consider. And I'm going to actually show you some of these things with my actual email. I got it set up, but not just yet. One, be relentless with filters. Make sure that you're setting up filters to move things out of your inbox and into an archive or a label, or just delete them if they're no good. Put them somewhere. If you want to delete them, then you probably want to do the next thing, which is reporting the spam and utilizing unsubscribe. We get on a lot of email lists sometimes, and that starts to clutter after a way, and it starts to eat away at us little by little, drip by drip. So every once in a while, I'll start to get pretty vehement that I'm going to use the unsubscribe. I'm going to show you how you do that as well. And then here's something that I do that I think is probably pretty important. Empty your spam folder every day. I don't let it overflow. And there's a reason why I do this. I know it sounds probably a little AR, but the reason I do this is when I have only a few items in my spam, every once in a while you get a false positive where there is a message in your spam that you actually want. It only happens maybe once or twice a year because the spam filters are great these days. I mean, if anybody who's an older person like me can remember how many emails we used to have in our inbox and how much junk there was. They do a great job. I'm speaking specifically, I'm going to show you through Gmail. Gmail does a wonderful job. This is not a promotion. They don't pay me. If they want to, send me a check. That's fine. I just think that they do a really good job of moving stuff into spam so I don't see it. But every once in a while, they take that. I've had some really important emails go into spam by mistake. So if I have a small spam folder, I can see it real quickly. I can see if it applies. If not, I can get rid of it. It takes seconds a day, literally seconds a day. So here's how you get to zero inbox, or some of the ways you can get to zero inbox, regardless of the filters and other things. I'm going to show you those in a second. And I'm going to show you all this with real emails. I don't want to go back and forth. So I'm just going to go through the ideas and then I'm going to show you. One, answer it. If you can answer it immediately, answer it. Get it out of your inbox. Make sure you answer it. If you don't need to answer it and you need to answer it later, snooze it. If you're not familiar with snooze capability, when I found this and started using it, it changed my world, literally. Because you can basically say, I don't want to read this now. You can set a time and date when it shows up again in the future. This is a superpower for clearing your inbox. Because you might say, hey, I don't need to answer it now. I need to answer it next week. You can snooze it until next week. It will show back up. Then you don't have to worry about it. Create an event. If somebody is asking you for something or there's something you need to do, and I'm going to talk about this next week because I think it's an important thing about just create an event. You can do that as well. You can create an event or a meeting and it goes on your calendar. And that way you make sure that it happens. You can get rid of the email. You can archive it, get rid of it. Label it and archive it. If it's something that you want to see in the future, you'll see when I show you my screen, I've got a bunch of labels on the side. These are things that you want to do. Label it, get rid of it, move it. Don't touch it more than once. Archive it. Don't need it, but you might want to view it later. You might want to be able to search it, archive it. Last thing is delete it. I'm very, very, if I see something and I don't like it, don't need it, boom, I'm going to delete it as quickly as possible. So it's harder to show, so I'm going to do it from my own email. Right now, I'm going to show you real quick. I've only got a couple minutes. Let's see. I don't want to get too much into Marion's time. So what you're going to see over here is you're going to see my inbox now. And I've set up a bunch of emails that are fake emails because I want anybody's emails to show there. The first one, unsubscribe. Now, this is something about it just came from Kindle Direct Publishing. It's the only one that's a real email. I found it before the show. You can see right here on the right, a lot of emails will have that unsubscribe option. I don't want to unsubscribe to this one, so I won't do it. Snooze. This is something that I want to get back to somebody later. I don't want to deal with it today. I don't want to talk to it today. I can click the snooze button and I can choose later today, tomorrow, next week, or I can pick a date and time to snooze that. And that's really, really powerful. I don't know how many people of you do it. If somebody actually does it or doesn't do it, I'd be interesting. Here's one where somebody wants to follow up on relentless learning. They said, here's a topic. This is actual future topic, but I took the name out of it. I want to reply to this thing immediately. I don't want to spend any time. This is really important that I get back with the person. It's going to take me 5 minutes or less. That's my general rule. If it takes me 5 minutes or less, I'm going to respond to it immediately. The reason that I can do that, by the way, is, and I did put this in the bullet points, I generally try to check my email only 2 major times during the day so it doesn't become a problem. I'll check it in the morning and I'll check it in the afternoons, and I have time on my calendar to do so. That is already there. It's there every day. It's given a half hour, 15 minutes, whatever it is, every morning to do this so that I can answer some things immediately. And if I don't get them in the morning, I'll answer them in the afternoon. Most of the time, 24 hours is fine. Creating an event. This is somebody who wants to talk about partnering with me. So one of the things I can do is I can create an event. So I click up on these 3 dots and I click on create an event. What it's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to schedule something. And one of the things I can do is use this to help schedule a meeting. And it will also have this email, which will have the information about what the event is for. So this is, again, something really important. I'm looking at time. I'm almost done. Something that is just for your information. I want to label it. And you can see I have a bunch of different labels here. I can create new ones. I can manage them. I can label it. And then I can click this archive button. It's going to get it out of my email, my inbox. This one is a resource that I might need in the future, employee handbook, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to archive it. If I need to find it later, I can do the search functionality to find it. I probably won't need it, but if I do, I can. This one I just want to delete because it's basically something that made it through the spam filter. It's not something I'm interested in. Boom, I'm just going to hit the delete. Creating a filter. I don't have a whole lot of time to go into it, but it's up here next to the right of search mail, where I can create something with a subject. So in this case, the email is from Jira. Some of you get a bunch of Jira things or other things. That's an unsubscribe, but Jira updates. I don't want to see them. I want to label them. I want to look at them later, so I can label it. I can archive it, and then if I want to look at my Jira updates in bulk, I can go to the Jira notices folder. Or there's one here, and I can look at the Jira notices. I'm running out of time. The other one is, here's some spam. I want to make sure I report the spam so it helps the spam filter, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how well these things come through in the short period of time that we have together as far as the tips and tricks, but hopefully they will be helpful to you. Because what I've found, this along with scheduling, vehemently scheduling, which I'm going to talk about next week, and I'm going to show you how I do some things on my calendar, really helped me to do what I do. Because people often ask me, they say, Larry, you got so many things going on. How do you stay up with them? And one of the ways I can stay up with them is I'm very, very good with the messaging in my inbox.